Are you garbage at ABA? Are you tired of people typing easy every time you lose a battle? Are you tired of your friends saying they're tired of carrying you online during ranked matches? Well, fear no more. You came to the right place. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys top 10 tips and tricks for noobs in order for you guys to improve your gameplay experience online in ABA. So for our first tip of the day, choose your play style. In this game, you guys can either play with keyboard and mouse, or you guys could play with a controller. Now for me personally, I tend to use the controller most of the time because I'm not really good with keyboard and mouse. However, one thing I really like about this game is that it has a lock-on feature for those who use the controller. Now if you use keyboard and mouse, you have to be really good with aiming. So depending on your playstyle preference, the choice is yours. So choose wisely. Moving on to tip number 2 that I have for you guys is make sure you guys pick a character that you actually want to main. Now the reason why I say that is because every character in this game costs a certain amount of money. Now granted, there are characters in this game that are free to play with. However, the rest of the roster, you have to pay money. Unless you're rich and you have Mr. Beast type money, then most of the time in this game, you're going to just be grinding it out. So just make sure you choose wisely on the characters that you want to play with, because you're going to be grinding a lot. As for tip number 3 that I have for you guys is make sure you guys pay attention to your HUD. Now in this game, you have 2 bars. You have the green bar and the red bar. That green bar is your health meter and the red bar is your awakening. So make sure you guys keep tabs on that. I also want to mention that sometimes there's a glitch in this game where your HUD won't be on the top of your screen. It will be on the far right. Now for tip number 4 that I have for you guys is don't press the button multiple times in order to attack someone. All right. All you guys have to do is simply hold the button down. It doesn't matter if you're playing with keyboard and mouse or if you're playing with controller. All you guys have to do is literally hold the button down and it'll literally do the combo for you. For tip number 5 that I have for you guys is go under your settings and raise your camera sensitivity up, so that way you guys can rotate your camera faster and it could build your reaction speed, so that you can keep track of your opponent or if there's multiple people on the field. Tip number 6, learn every character's weakness and strengths. And there's a lot of different ways you guys could go about this. Go into training room and fight against the dummies, fight against a friend, or you guys can go in ranked matches or public matches and just see how people fight online depending on what characters they play with, and then learning your character and see how you can counter against them. Now this is really important because of the fact that this roster is very huge and each character is different, and I want you guys to assess yourself the best way as you can depending on the circumstances that are granted to you. Moving on to tip number 7 that I have for you guys is the awakening mechanic. Now there's a multitude of different ways you guys can use the awakening against players, whether if you want to regenerate your health if you're low on HP, or using it to finish off your opponent very quickly so you guys can one-shot them, because some characters can actually do that, or you can just pop it right before you get one-shot by another player who's using their awakening as well. And if you guys have any other creative ways you guys can use your awakening online, leave your comments in the comment section down below. As for tip number 8 that I have for you guys is blocking is your best friend, but don't overdo it. And the reason why I say that is because certain characters have the ability to use their special and break right through your guard and can open you up for a mean ass combo. And another way that they could break your guard is if you're simply just blocking and standing there, they could just do a combo against you and break your guard just like that. However, if you do your blocking wisely and if you know your characters and weaknesses, like I said before in my earlier tips, you'll be able to know when to block and not to block and find opportunities to counter against them. As for tip number 9, I'll be going into detail about combo extensions, but the correct term for people who use keyboard and mouse, it is called your M1s. As for the first combo that you guys can do online is called the auto combo, or the main M1, where you just simply press the button multiple times and eventually at the end of your combo you will send your opponent flying away. As for the second way that you guys can do your combo is by simply holding the M1 button 3 times and then holding the space bar, and then you and your opponent will be floating in the air. As for the third way that you guys can do your combo is by simply holding the M1 button 4 times and then holding the space bar, which will send your opponent flying in the air. Now as for the last combo, you could do this 2 ways. You could hold the button 4 times while pressing the space bar and do an extra M1, it will do a ground smash. However, if you hold the space bar while pressing the M1 button, instead of ground smashing them, you will kick them away. As for our last tip that I have for you guys for today's video, which I believe is the most important one, is things won't always go your way. And the reason why I say that is because this game does have moments where it does lag. So you have to understand that even if you master your combo or you learn how to do certain crazy things with a certain character, the lag may screw you over. Now there are certain ways you guys could prevent the lag from happening by either, you know, lowering your graphics settings or turn off certain tabs so you guys won't prevent the game from moving too slow, or you know, you could just avoid playing certain maps. But there are certain circumstances where the game is just beyond your control from, you know, from lagging, so you're just gonna have to deal with it, because for whatever reason Roblox servers sometimes just, you know, play like dog water, so you're gonna have to keep that in mind. And that is it for today's video, guys. If you have any other questions or comments or concerns, please leave your comments in the comment section down below. Expect more ABA content coming soon, and I would appreciate you guys if you guys subscribe and drop a like and all that good jazz if you guys enjoyed today's video. But other than that, I'ma catch y'all in the next one. Peace.